So, our two adventurers and their two allies, Reyna Tinkerfoot, Harvey the Aarakocra Ranger, Gran the Hunter, who stumbled into the Feywilds just like Reyna, and now he is tagging along because he also wants to find a way out of the Feywilds, as well as the unnamed homuncubird, or the homunculus hummingbird, that Reyna has crafted. Just moments ago, the woman who was on the other side of the mountain passage revealed herself to be, in fact, a hag, and she revealed this to be her grotto. For those that don't know, a grotto is kind of like a swamp. So, Harvey, you are technically out of your favorite terrain at this point. You're not in the mountains or the forest. You are in a swamp for the time being, unfortunately.
What if I said that I love swamps?
That would be noted, but it would not be your favorite terrain. You can see right ahead of you. Well, Reyna can. Harvey can't see further than 40 feet. You might just be able to see the edge of the water there. But there is shallow water, very shallow water, that the hag had walked through to get back to her hut on the other side. So it might not be too much of an obstacle, but that's the main thing you see right ahead of you. In addition to the trees, the mountainside behind you, you can hear flowing water. Harvey can't see it, Reyna can, but there is flowing water. A little waterfall right over there. The hag said she's going to give you until sundown to figure out how to escape the grotto. And if you have not escaped by sundown, that she is going to eat the three of you. Reyna, Harvey, and Gran.
So, of all the people here, can we just take a quick tally? Who wants to be eaten? And then Reyna, so she had just left and gone to her house, right?
Yes, she left across the water. You could very clearly make out the front steps of her house, the window, which now has light coming out of it, another far window that has light coming out of it. So she just basically went home, turned on the lights. You can see smoke rising out of the chimney. She told you exactly who she is, what she's doing, and where she is.
Okay. Reyna is going to...
She gave you until the end of the day. The sun has just come up. She gave you until the end of the day, sundown, to figure out a way to escape this grotto.
Okay. Reyna is going to turn to her companions. I think the best course of action is to kind of get an idea of where she is and what... just kind of take a closer look at where she's inhabiting in case we ever need to employ the burn the house down tactic.
Perhaps I should also take one of your torches, Mr. Harvey. Gran pipes up. It seems pretty dark on this side of the mountain. I would hate for any of us to get lost.
Of course, no problem. I'll hand over one of my torches.
He's going to take that. You can remove that extra torch from your character sheet. Keep track of that.
Alright, down to 8.
Because Gran does not have dark vision either, so it is going to be a significant help for him to be able to see.
Reyna's got enough dark vision for all three of us.
That's true.
It's true.
But that doesn't mean that she doesn't want to share. And I want to... Reyna's going to touch the homunculus bird, the homuncubird, and bestow with it that trait that it has where she can give it like 5 feet of light.
Yeah, so you cast your little tinkering ability on the homuncubird, and it is able to provide 5 feet of bright light and 5 feet of dim light.
Perfect. That way, in case one of you has to use your bow, you're not aiming in the dark, quite literally.
Can you turn that light on and off at range?
I don't think so. No, it doesn't. It doesn't allow me to choose between turning it on and turning it off. It just kind of happens.
And I think you can have 3 of these effects. Oh, the chosen property lasts indefinitely. As an action, you can touch the object and end the property early. So you would have to touch it to turn it off.
So I'd have to call it back. Okay, makes sense.
And your homunculus, I think you have the stats for that.
Mm-hmm.
So from here, of course, the hag gave you free reign to explore the grotto and figure out if you are able to escape in that time that she has allotted you.
Mm-hmm. If it's okay with everyone, I think perhaps the best place we should go would be the waterfall. And then Reyna's going to point, but she doesn't point with a finger. She's going to do like the Mickey Mouse point, just like 3 fingers that people do at Disneyland.
Nice.
And then start headed that direction.
They do that point so they're not offending anybody, because all kinds of different cultures have different hand signals that can be offensive. I think that one's pretty neutral. But you point over in the direction of the waterfall, and Gran, he says, "Yes, I can hear it, but I can't see it. This darkness is consuming. It's on every side of us." But he does go ahead and kind of wander over in that direction a bit.
Why don't I'd hate to do this, and then she's gonna hover over by Gran. Allow me to lead the way, but I know
Certainly.
that you will be right behind me.
Certainly, miss. I suppose it seems that you have a good eye for this darkness.
I have the only eye for this darkness.
Can your people see in the dark fairly well?
My people were born in the dark. They usually live their entire lives in the dark, and one day they will die in the dark.
Oh
And
my.
that's not nearly as depressing as it sounds.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, then, very well. Go ahead then, my lady. Please lead us on.
She turns back to Harvey to just kind of make sure that he's keeping up.
I'm coming. Sorry.
And she's going to continue on towards the waterfall.
There seems to be shallow water here.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be a little too presumptuous, but we don't know for sure if that water's safe. Because she made it through, but that doesn't mean that we can make it through.
It only seems to be about... He looks down into the water. You can all see that the water only seems to be like maybe a few inches to a foot deep in any given spot.
I'm mostly concerned about, like, if it's poisonous or anything.
Oh, Well, if I know anything about the wilderness, and I try to, being a hunter, I would think that if there was poison, that this waterfall would be providing a pretty steady source of fresh water. It should hopefully wash away anything like that. Unless you think it might be enchanted somehow.
Yeah, let's check it out. Harvey, how good are you on your survival skill? How in tune with nature would you say you are, Harvey?
I would say more so than most. After all, I did grow up here in this forest.
I'll check and see if there's any magics, and why don't you check and see if it's anything natural? So I would like to make an Arcana check, Mr. Luke. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check, and Harvey, if you want to check the water, you could also make your choice of a nature or survival check, but as I mentioned before, this particular section right on the other side of the mountains does count as swamp terrain, so you won't have your doubled proficiency bonus for either of those checks.
So regular +5, right?
Yeah, for your survival, regular +5.
Fuck yeah,
All
Harvey.
right. So,
It's about
Reyna,
time.
you can recall a couple different... You've heard different stories about magically enchanted water, but looking around, you don't see any obvious magical effect here.
Mm-hmm.
Harvey, how exactly are you testing the water? What are you doing here to see if it's safe?
I want to look and see if there's anything out of the ordinary besides normal river life and plants around the area.
Yeah,
Check
you
and
just
see if there's
you see the trees around. You see the grass on the bank here, and under the water there, only about a few inches to a foot. The water seems like a decent color to you, maybe a little murky, but that's to be expected of a swamp. As you're both inspecting around, however, you are going to see, right across the bank, in the tangle of the tree branches, a figure that appears to almost look just like the hag that left the other direction. Standing motionless in the tangle of the branches.
Reyna's going to send the hummingbird over to kind of shine some light near the figure.
When the hummingbird approaches the figure of the hag and shine some light, it is revealed to just be a tangled, upstanding branch that almost has the same silhouette as her.
And she calls it back.
Does the water look fine?
It looks about as good as it can be for a swamp.
Maybe there's parasites or something in it.
That would be a very good assumption. I would figure in a swamp there would be things living in there that aren't normal to have in our system, at least.
Do you think you could make it across with your little hovering device, Miss Reyna?
That's a good question. I can't imagine I wouldn't, but let me give it a go. She's gonna try and go over.
Indeed. Yeah, you can float across without much trouble. It's only about a few inches to a foot deep, so kind of following even the ground underneath the water, you are able to float across without dipping in. You can make it to that little crevice in between the cliff side and the branches there.
Awesome. And then she looks back and kind of just waves her friends over and
well, you can fly, Mr. Harvey. You shouldn't have any trouble with it.
No, I don't tend to have trouble crossing bridges. I'm more worried about you having to wade through swamp water.
I'm sure I've waded through worse. And he goes ahead and dips his feet into it. It doesn't even get inside his boots. He has some heavy hunting boots that are reasonably well insulated. And he steps a little deeper. It does spill into his shoes, and it wets through the cloth of his pants. Oh, it is cold. Oh, brr. But there's colder water out there.
I'm going to cautiously fly not too far away from him as he's crossing.
Yeah. He makes it over. No problem, really. The deepest point was only about a foot.
Maybe I'm being a bit too paranoid.
Perhaps, but given that that timid woman was in fact some kind of green-skinned witch, perhaps we can't be too careful.
Never too careful.
What's through these branches here?
Let's make our way. Boop, boop, boop.
And on the other side of this area, this does open up and it goes to a different area. This whole open left side here that you guys can see, or that at least Reyna can see.
Mm-hmm.
But then there is the terrain of other trees and bushes about here. But we can easily carry on to the next portion of the map if we so choose.
What do you think, Harvey? Should we continue deeper into the forest, or do you think the exit would be something close by?
I would imagine that the exit would be probably away from the entrance. Otherwise, it'd be too easy for us to just scout the area and get out.
It's true. I'm going to send the hummingbird to kind of scout out this area-ish.
Sure. Now, I don't believe you have...
It doesn't have anything like I can see through its eyes like how familiars do.
Yeah, it's just a little helpful construct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can send it into the distance to fly around a bit, but it can't really relay much information back to you about it.
That's fair. Remain here, and then I'm going to make my way over here, actually.
Yeah, you float around.
It looks like this is just the edge of the bog.
The tree line.
Is there a way to flit through between these trees here?
Yeah, you move through the tangle of the branches, but then you see standing underneath the branches there, right up close next to you this time, unmistakably, it is not a tangle of branches or an upturned log. It is the very visage of the hag, and she has a wicked grin as she stares at you.
Oh man.
Don't go too far. And her voice kind of echoes a little bit in each direction.
Perhaps I should go even further. She hesitantly raises up the Eldritch cannon that's on the side, and she doesn't fire it, but she definitely makes it known that it's facing the hag.
She pulls leaves off the branch kind of one by one in between different sets of her fingers as she watches you do this.
She's gonna... I'm gonna head back, but roll backwards.
Yeah, as you're moving backwards, you watch this, and she gives you a gentle wave as you do. Gentle wave goodbye as you proceed back the way you came.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually...
I'm gonna head up.
She's consumed by darkness and you can't make out that figure anymore.
Well, the hag sure is toying with us.
What? You saw her over there?
Yes, she made it quite obvious that she wants us to not move too far, which, considering that our goal is to make it out, I think that's probably the best thing we can do.
Maybe she also has a back door on her hut or something.
Probably.
She also made it very clear that we probably shouldn't separate anymore.
That is most definitely true.
Although, if we separated, wouldn't it be easier for her to pick us off one by one? Oh, well, I suppose she said she was gonna wait and see if we could escape before she tried anything.
That's true.
Would you trust the word of someone who's trying to kill us in the first place?
That's a good point.
A most excellent point.
Either way, we need to decide which direction to move. She can see us here.
As you guys are discussing here, you're going to hear a and then it turns into a tip as something races around the tree line there. And you only get a glimpse of it, very similar to the blur you saw before, but this one is kind of a pinkish red color. It comes through the bog around the tree line, and just, without stopping or giving you a moment to see it, speeds by down that direction. Phew! Wait, did you see that? Says Gran.
Absolutely. Gran, how many quicklings have you seen in this forest?
Quicklings? Well, just I think the one that we saw on the other side of the passage there. But I suppose that might have been one as well. It was moving pretty fast.
It's definitely possible that there's more than one active at a time.
I've definitely seen more than one of other creatures. I mean, on the back where I'm from. I don't know how this plane works.
Harvey, how many quicklings have you seen on this plane?
So far, the 2.
Hopefully this one is just as mischievous but harmless as the other one.
All I know is we should keep our eye out. It's probably not hard for them to stay unseen.
It's true. I'm going to leave it up to Harvey. He knows this place best.
Well, despite how much I don't want to, we should probably follow the only other living thing we see so far.
To the left?
Yeah, so let's go to the left towards the quickling.
Indeed. You all proceed. You carry on through to the left to another part of the forest. More trees, says Gran.
Indeed. At least the place is good and green. I'm gonna make my way towards the edge of the trees and just kind of see if I can see anything past the thicket.
No, it's quite thick, quite obscuring. After kind of where you can see, it just gets so dense that you would have to spend quite a bit of effort crawling through it to even move through it.
Right. And then continue on back towards my people. I don't think we're going through these trees by any means.
Well, I can check and see if I could see over them. I want to head over and try to top the trees.
Sure.
Well,
head about right here.
The clouds at this point, so as you guys went through that mountain passage, you were heading through, but you were also heading up. So the dark, stormy clouds are actually pretty close overhead, pretty close to the top of the trees. And if you did try to go up that way, you would be met with some considerable resistance, but you can try if you would like.
Yeah, I think I'll try to get as close as I can before it starts getting too choppy in the air.
Sure, you can make an athletics check to try and go over the tree line. You flap your Aarakocra wings, trying to push yourself against the brunt of the wind. You make it maybe 20 feet up, not even over the line of the trees, before the wind becomes harsh and nearly unbearable. You flap your wings hard to try and push through it, but after a few more moments, you're pushed back down to just about 10 feet in the air.
Okay, so I'll go back and reluctantly tell everybody we can't go over the trees either.
That's what I figured. I imagine that she's got some kind of hold over this place.
Would be too simple just to fly us all out.
Although I doubt that you could lift me and the chair.
I'm sure getting out of here without the chair is more important than taking it with you right now.
No, it's not. But she laughs as she says it to not, come off like a dick.
Wait a moment. It looks like there's some kind of opening in the mountainside here.
Reyna's gonna look in this direction.
Yeah, you can see another kind of visage of the hag standing there under the branches. She has the familiar wicked grin on her face.
She's not gonna say anything to her compatriots, but she's gonna kind of turn away and move on. Definitely not happy to continue seeing it.
Should we go into the mountainside here? Seems pretty
Absolutely.
dank inside.
Oh man, you got that good kush? Just kidding.
Seems to be the only way to go.
Unless we went back the way we came, but, well, there could be all sorts of things in caves, in my experience. Bears, snakes, living mushroom people.
Make a nature check to look around at footprints in the area.
Yeah, you can make an investigation or survival check to check the kind of ground in front of the cave tunnel here.
There we go. Damn, your survival checks are on point today.
Yes,
Nice.
they are.
So, you don't see much in the way of tracks so much, but you're going to see little kind of marks, little black sludgy marks on the side of the entrance there.
Party, does anybody know what this is while pointing to the substance on the walls?
So you are technically, this part of the map does count as forest and mountain again, so you would actually have your double proficiency bonus, so we can factor that in. These caves are going to count as the mountains, but you can go ahead and you can make a nature check with that proficiency doubled. So your proficiency bonus is +3. Okay, so with a total of 9, you see these sludgy marks and you're not quite sure what could have made that. Who should go in first? Rand says a little cautiously.
Since neither of you two fine gentlemen can see, I guess it's got to be me. And she approaches fairly cautiously.
Nice.
Well, tell Reyna to wait.
Oh?
What if the bird goes in first?
Well, I can't see with the bird, but it can certainly light up the way.
And also tell if there's a gas in there. Birds have tiny lungs.
It's not a living thing.
Sorry, so used to the nature around here.
It's okay. That was a good idea. And she sends it in a little bit deeper.
It does light up the space a little bit.
She, gives it an indication to, flap harder and, kind of make noise and see if anything happens.
It has hummingbird wings, but it tries to grind its gears extra hard, and you can hear just the tiniest echo of that sound coming out back at you, but otherwise nothing happens.
She flies it back. Well, if there's anything in there, it's certainly not near the entrance.
All right, then, go ahead and proceed.
I'd like to move as stealthily as possible.
Yeah, you can make a stealth check.
Okay. Does having the chair give it advantage, disadvantage?
I'll say that whatever gentle whirring of the chair makes is akin to footsteps, so it's just a regular stealth check.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I have a +2 to stealth. 12.
Very good. So you're stealthing as you enter. And Gran he'll try to be a little stealthy too as he enters. Kind of crouching low to the ground. Oh, he's not great at it though. He because he can't see so great as you, so he kind of knocks a few rocks. He accidentally taps the top of his torch on the wall. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, Gran, you beefcake, you. Harvey?
Yes.
Are you coming or staying out there?
Reluctantly, as a winged creature, I don't like caves, but I will come.
You can stealth if you would like.
All right, I'll stealth as well. So that'll be a +14.
Nice. Yeah, so you're able to hover just above the ground with your wings as you enter this cave, so you're not making really much sound at all.
All right, guys, I'm here.
Well, now we've faced another conundrum. The cave splits, and then she points with her Mickey Mouse. Points to the right and to the left.
As you're doing that, you are going to hear plop, 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 kind of a little wet stepping sound as a little creature comes around the corner there. And it looks over at Reyna. It has something in its hands. It has its arms underneath whatever it's carrying. And it looks over at you. It's like, it sees you.
She moves closer.
And it runs away. What was that? Did you see that?
She's going to continue on without acknowledging Gran.
Nice.
I was barely able to see it from here, Gran. What was it?
Some kind of little creature. I didn't get a good look of it. It was just barely on the end of my vision.
I guess we better hurry and follow Reyna in case it's hostile.
Certainly.
Reyna's curiosity keeps getting the best of her, and she's going to kind of make her way forward. in hot pursuit.
As you guys are all moving through this corridor here, you can all go ahead and make strength saving throws.
Oh, no.
So Reyna's chair...
15.
Yeah, Reyna's little hover chair, it's kind of steadily able to move through this corridor without touching any of the walls or the ground. But as Harvey and Gran move through, Gran is going to step his feet onto this. There's kind of the same sludge, but it's coating the entire corridor, the ground, the walls. And as Gran steps onto it, his boots are going to stick and he's not going to be able to pull his feet back up. Harvey, as you're kind of hovering through this little corridor, you are going to accidentally bump into the wall and it's going to catch your wing there. But Reyna is unimpeded and she's able to move forward without worrying about it. And if she was kind of going with the same, not even acknowledging Gran, she might not even notice that her allies are caught.
I want to try to call out, Reyna, stop, come back.
She stops like right about here where she can almost reach the creature, and then she turns back and sees the situation. Oh dear. I didn't even notice. The chair just kind of floats.
There's some kind of substance on the ground here. It's caught my boots.
Yeah. Can she roll a perception? Can she try investigate and see if it's like a similar substance to what was on the walls?
Yeah, you can make an investigation check.
Sure. Thank you. That is going to be +4. 15.
Yeah, it looks pretty similar to the substance that Harvey found on the mouth of the cave. You can't tell. You said 15? What was it?
Yeah, 15.
So with that 15, it's some kind of oily substance that appears to be quite sticky.
She's gonna make her way over to Harvey and try and pull him away from the wall.
Sure. As you do that, you can go ahead and make another strength saving throw.
+1. 11.
Okay, so you are able with your hover chair to continue avoiding the walls and such. And you're going to go ahead and give Harvey a little bit of help. So Harvey, you can make a strength check with advantage. So with that 15 plus 4, that 19, you are able to break free of the oil and you're able to continue hovering away from the walls and the floor, as is Reyna.
Gran's a little stuck, though.
This creature's going to run right up and it's going to jump on the back of Reyna's little hovercraft.
Oh, God.
And it's going to make a grapple check. So you can go ahead and make either a athletics or acrobatics check to contest this.
I'll do an acrobatics check, because I've got a +2 to that.
Nice.
Nat fucking 20.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is this creature runs through the oil and it tries to jump up on you, but both you and Harvey are able to move out of the way and it falls and lands on this oil and lets out a little and it runs back.
Reyna's gonna attack it. Oh, wait. Do I get an attack of opportunity?
That's true. Yeah, you
Absolutely.
can go ahead and roll initiative. Everybody can roll initiative.
Whoop. My initiative is +2. 11.
6.
Gran can attack too, can he?
Yeah, that was his initiative that I rolled.
Oh, the 11? Nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Brandon, it's time for you to kick ass.
Oh, I sure freaking hope so. This is the part I was focused on. I wanted to try to do heavy damage real fast.
You're the, am I considered the tank because I have the chair with the cannon on it?
Yeah, that's pretty tanky. Tank-like. Tank-esque.
Gran can be the tank. He just needs to hide behind them beefy arms.
That's
Nice.
true. Gran is a tank, but only when he drinks.
So it wasn't attacking you, it was just trying to grapple you, and it is going to go ahead and try to run away, and you will get an attack of opportunity on that.
Perfect. I'm going to attack with the Eldritch Cannon, which, if I understand correctly, I'm going to go ahead and do the Force Ballista, which is a ranged spell attack.
Nice.
21.
21 to hit, you definitely hit with that. Go ahead and roll for damage.
6 total.
So you knock the little cannon out of the side of your hovercraft, your little hover chair, and you fire that projectile at this creature, and it kind of hits it on the ass and sends it flying up into the air for a second before it lands down, kind of legs splayed on its butt once again. You deal that 6 points of damage.
She blows on the cannon.
And following that, it's going to run into this little crevice in the wall. It's going to dive down into it, and it's going to almost disappear into that crevice. Did you get it? Says Gran.
I got it. It's still alive, but I got it.
You want to drown it?
Oh my god. Let's make sure that Gran... Let's get Gran out of the way first, and then I'll... Are we still in combat?
Nope, initiative ended.
Okay. Yeah, I want to help Gran out.
Yeah, so he's going to get that strength check with advantage. Yeah, you're able to help pull his boot off, and he steps back off the liquid. Might be difficult for me to get across this. You both have kind of hovering abilities.
That's true.
Let me try something real quick, Gran. I want to pull out my decanter of endless water. I say the word stream, which only produces a single gallon of water, and I want to pour that at the oil below my feet where I'm hovering.
Nice. So you let out a small amount, a small stream of water, and it seems to, it kind of, when water interacts with oil, it creates it doesn't mix, so it's bubbles of oil and water now, and so you turn the one square right beneath you into kind of a little bit watery, just a slightly watery square there.
Can I lightly put my foot down on it to see if it's still sticky?
Yeah, you dip your foot into it, and beads of the oil do stick to your boot, but it's not as sticky as it was before.
Okay, guys, I think I can clear out this oil, but I'm going to need some room.
Okay. Gran steps back.
Reyna will move out of the way back towards Gran.
Okay, I want to go to the entrance. Point my decanter of endless water inside of the oil area of the cave.
Nice.
And once again, I want to say the word geyser for a 30-gallon geyser that'll go 30 feet long and 1 foot wide.
Yeah, so this geyser fills the corridor, and it sprays out both ways. Of course, spraying off the wall. It fills that entire corridor with water for a few moments. It seems to wash away much of the oil.
Nice.
This creature's going to run up behind you and try to jump onto your little hovercraft again. And you can make an athletics or acrobatics check to contest that.
Would that be at a disadvantage because I was facing away from them, or would I hear it enough to know that it's coming?
Yeah, you can hear the...
Okay.
The little kind of sludgy footsteps. Oh. No, I guess you were pretty unaware of it, even though it had those footsteps. The sound of the water completely overwhelmed your senses. So it's going to jump up, and it's going to land on your little hovercraft, and you're going to feel your hovercraft dip for a second. You're like, what the heck? As it's on you, and you can feel something rifling through your belongings.
Oh! Oh!
And it is going to take your light crossbow.
How dare you.
And it's going to jump off, releasing the grapple, but it has taken your light crossbow from your inventory. And you're going to get an attack of opportunity as it tries to leave your range.
Reyna's going to quickly flip around.
So you have your Force Ballista currently.
Right. Yep. Then she's going to do that one again and attack it.
Nice.
Damn.
So you fire
9.
Your blast. It flies past it overhead and it smashes into the far wall, creating shrapnel and a little cloud of dust as he just runs right into that little wall there. Kind of slipping almost into the crevice, into where the wall meets the ground, disappearing away with your crossbow.
Damn.
Whoa, did you see that? Says Gran.
These things are annoying and fast.
It disappeared right into the wall.
There's definitely magic afoot.
We can still try to flush it out of there.
Please,
How did he get in there?
I don't know, but I certainly know how Harvey's gonna get him back out.
With my favorite thing.
Fist. Wait. Water.
Was it here? Or here that the crack was?
You examine the walls and you don't really see any crack in them. Yeah, you don't really see any crack there. You see crevices, but nothing that seems to go through all the way.
Well, Reyna, was this the crevice that it went through?
Reyna is gonna move her body and be like, yeah, as close of an approximation as I can make. That's where that little bastard went to.
Okay, well, here we go. As I press my decanter of endless water against the crevice, and once again say geyser, shooting 30 gallons inside of the crevice.
You try to activate your decanter of endless water against this wall. There's not much space for it to shoot into, and it kind of, you know when you're cleaning a spoon and the water hits that and splashes you? So it's going to shoot into this little opening in the wall, but the amount of water with nowhere else to go shoots back out at actually all three of you. So you can both go ahead and make strength saving throws.
9.
So Gran is just barely enough out of the way that he's able to dodge. Reyna is able to dodge the other way, so really what happens is Harvey sticks his decanter against the wall, and when he tries to activate its geyser ability, it explodes right there on top of him, knocking you back, and you take 3 points of damage from the blunt force of the geyser of water shooting out of your decanter.
The absolute blunt force trauma.
Yeah, and it's going to knock you 15 feet away from that spot. And there is plenty of water now kind of spilled out. All across the ground here. A lot of the dirt has turned into mud from all this water.
Harvey, I am so sorry.
Frustratingly, as I'm flapping the water off my wings, I just want everybody to know that probably could have been seen as a bad idea before we did it. There is a medium setting on this decanter.
Goodness, are you okay? And Grant definitely helps you up.
Thank you, Grant. I'll be honest, I'm okay, but I'm a little fed up being made a fool of by these tiny little creatures.
Absolutely.
Ain't that the Feywilds? I want to say, too, that Harvey, from the impact of the geyser, it did extinguish and wet one of your torches, so you're down an extra torch. If you want to relight another one.
Just give me a second. I need to find me a dried torch.
Yeah. You can find the ones that were in your bag are protected.
In the meanwhile, Reyna's gonna just kind of check this little corner.
Yeah, certainly.
Try and see if, she can see where that little bastard went to.
She sees more crevices in the wall. Nothing that appears to go all the way through. Just kind of natural formations of this cavern. And she might see little slicks of oil on stalagmites or on the wall or something. But nothing that would prove an obstacle.
Right. Absolutely. Very frustratingly, she makes her way back to Gran and Harvey.
These creatures seem to have all sorts of tricks up their sleeves.
Yes.
You know, I'm thinking that oil on the ground, that might have even come from these creatures.
That is probably true. I definitely want to better prepare myself for this place. So let us see. The thing that I'm seeing is I can remake one if I'd use a spell slot of level 1 or higher. And then it says once you create a cannon.
Yeah, you can create another one if you use a spell slot. That's true. So I guess you could replace it with a flamethrower. That's good to know. But that would eat up one of your spell slots.
I already used one for snare, so I'm going to go ahead and use another one again to make turn the force ballista into a flamethrower. I think that's more appropriate for here. She'll do this while explaining why she's doing it.
So that explosion of water, Gran helps you up, Reyna checks out that other little crevice. And so you used one of your spell slots to go ahead and change it to a flamethrower?
Yep. So I'm down to 2 first level spell slots until I rest again.
Sounds good. But that creature has disappeared, so there is no initiative right now. You are all free to continue moving about.
Alright, is everybody all collected?
I think so. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with one of those creatures yet.
Reyna is just seething.
There might be more deeper in the cave, however. I wouldn't put it past them.
I feel like, with what we know of the terrain, we could probably make it out through these mountains, but it's definitely not going to be easy. I don't know. Harvey, you know mountains best. You know this area best. Which way would you assume? Should we continue further in or head back out?
Well, we've only made it through the mouth so far. We can't tell too much. But we do know that if the walls are covered in this slime substance, this oil, there's probably a lot more of those creatures deeper in there.
It's true.
Not all the walls. Some of the walls might have little pricks of it here and there, but for the most part, this one corridor up ahead that you guys are in seems to be the main one that was covered in that substance.
So if we do want to keep continuing through this tunnel, we need to avoid areas that have a concentration of that oil.
Certainly.
Sounds good to me.
So we could head north and try to travel through there, see where that leads.
Oh, this is a dead end.
I can't see that far.
Oh, I apologize. I investigated it while you were getting yourself picked up.
So don't remind me of that.
I think the only way...
In that case, I have to ask then, me and Reyna can get through the oil easily. Grant, how do you feel about walking through an area that might get you stuck?
Well, I want to stay with my allies, so I'll follow you wherever you go.
Absolutely. And we will do our best to defend you.
All right, in that case, then I say let's continue forward.
And then as we make our way back, I kind of like teasingly throw back, perhaps with a little less water. I love the lighting system. It's so cool in this place.
Yeah, hell yeah. So as you move there, of course there are a couple different ways to go. Gran follows through. Some of the oil is sticking to your boots and stuff, well, to Gran's boots, but it isn't keeping him stuck to the ground.
That's good. Reyna points Mickey Mouse style in this direction. This is where I saw probably the same one, but one of the little bastards had. This direction is all new.
Well, I say let's try to avoid the little monsters.
Agreed. Ugh. And she moves to let Harvey do his thing. More oil.
No worries, I got this. And through experience, now I will point my decanter of endless water towards the oil and use the word stream to produce only a single gallon of water.
Nice. You're able to use that kind of two individual uses on these two squares here to help wash away the oil.
Now you're getting the hang of it.
Yeah, the low setting seems to be the most helpful.
Amen. And then Reyna takes a quick peek around the corner to see if there's anything. Coast is clear. More dead ends, but...
And as you're all here in this chamber, you guys can go ahead and make perception checks.
And that would stay the +2, right? Not a double up like the others?
I don't believe you have proficiency in perception, so no, even though it is the mountains.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Okay.
That's going to be 15 plus 3, 18.
Alright.
Oof.
So nobody is going to notice. But as you all wander into this room, you do take note that there are a few smeared patches of oil on the walls and on the ceiling. But as you're moving through here, 3 of the patches on the ceiling are going to spring to life. You're going to see on the ceiling above all 3 of you. These creatures stand up. Their feet are planted on the ceiling and they stand up upside down and look down. You've gotten a pretty good look at these creatures by now. They're kind of little, oily-skinned creatures with a grimace and big yellow eyes. Their skin almost seems to be secreting the oil that you've been finding in the corridors here, but they go ahead and stand up, kind of like they're spider climbing, with their feet on the ceiling of this cave. They stand and all three of them drop down onto all three of you. And they're going to go ahead and make grapple checks. And you guys can make contested either acrobatics or athletics checks.
I'm going to go ahead and do acrobatics, so that's a 10.
Nice.
Same for me.
Those little guys are so cute.
I beg to differ.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm going to kill them.
Does anybody have a barrel and a lid?
A what?
A barrel and a lid.
No. I have a flamethrower now, though. So, we're going to light these guys on fire.
Don't singe my wings.
No promises, man.
Ooh. And so they did get some significant advantages there between their sticky, oily skin and getting the drop on you guys. So they're all... Well, the ones on Reyna and Harvey, those are both going to succeed. The one that drops on Gran, he's just barely able to dodge out of the way. But these two, they kind of fall and they stick to your skin, kind of... One falls on your little hovercraft and it dips again as you feel it land. The other one kind of sticks to Harvey's back and it like rolls along your wing because its entire body is sticky and it's able to control it. So without even using its hands, it is stuck to you, it is grappled, and it rolls down your back and it gets into your bag. And they both rifle through your belongings.
Can we attack it?
Still on their initial... Yeah.
These assholes are going to take my shit.
So the one trying to get Harvey is going to go ahead.
How dare they rock me flying?
Okay, so the one, he rolls along your back with his sticky skin, and he's going to take out of your inventory.
He's not my decanter.
No, yeah, that's what I was rolling for. He's going to take your...
Come on, take the water skin.
No, he's going to take your crowbar.
Oh, I'm no thief. I don't need that.
So he rifles that out of your bag, and he's going to jump on the ground and beeline for this crevice in the wall here. And you are going to get an attack of opportunity on him as he's running away.
Kill him, Harvey.
Okay, I think I'll attack it with my talons.
Sure, you're going to swipe at it with your talons. Go ahead. So it rolls along your back, dips into your bag, pulls out the crowbar, hops down, begins running away. You swipe at it with your talons, but you can't quite connect. It is a fast little sucker, and he is going to go disappear into that crevice in the wall. The one with Reyna.
Harvey, I'm sorry.
That was my favorite crowbar, you know.
Oh my god. The one your dad gave you?
The one I was named after. Harvey the Crowbar.
So,
we're named after a long line. Yes, sir.
One that falls on you is going to be able to snatch your entire Dungeoneer's pack and all the contents inside of it, which is kind of a separate pack on your back there. It's able to pull that off the back of your little hovercraft. It's going to jump off you, and it is going to go ahead and try to run away into this crevice there, but you will get an attack of opportunity as it does that.
I will attack with my sickle.
Nice.
Which has a +4.
You definitely hit with that. Go ahead and roll for damage.
It's going to be 1d4 plus 1, 4.
You deal 3 points of damage, slashing at the back. You cut open its oily skin, and a little bit of oil spills out as it runs and disappears into that crevice. The last one that failed to land on Gran is going to go way later in the initiative. And so it is now Reyna's turn in the initiative.
I'm going to yell out, get out of the way, to Gran, and zoom my little hovercraft, and use a flamethrower.
Gran won't be able to move. He comes after you in the initiative, so you will be possibly damaging him.
Can he do a death save, or... Well, never mind.
He would make the save on your weapon there.
Yeah.
Let me see. It would be against your spell save DC, right?
Flamethrower, it sails in a fire.
Yeah.
Creature, dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC. Yep.
So you would possibly hit Gran?
Ugh, I don't want him to, but yeah.
Sure.
She's pissed.
Sure. They have to beat what's your spell save DC?
15.
So they have to beat a 15 to avoid the fire damage. You open up the panel on the side of your little hovercraft, and it lets out that little flamethrower, and you shoot it at this little creature and Gran, and they're both going to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm so sorry, Gran.
First is this creature, and it fails.
Nice.
And then Gran.
Come on, be a ninja, Gran.
Yeah!
He is able to jump out of the way a little bit, but he will take half damage. You can go ahead and you can roll 2d8 to see how much damage they take.
Absolutely. 15.
Nice.
But
you shoot a flamethrower for 15 points of damage. Gran is able to jump out of the way, and he is going to only take... That's going to be 7 points of damage. It catches kind of his leg for the most part, and he's and he pats it out as quickly as he can. The fire engulfs the little creature on every side of it. It's a tiny creature, so it's just completely engulfed by the flame. But as the flame clears, you see no big difference in its exterior. Its oily skin appears to have given it some sort of resistance to the damage, and it is only going to take 7 points of fire damage.
ugh.
And then you still have an action.
Oh, yeah. She's going to attack with her sickle then.
Nice. Go ahead.
Nice.
You do hit with that 16.
Yep, and then it's a d4 plus 1, so 5 total damage.
You have 5 more points of damage to this creature. So you almost burn up Gran, and you try to burn up the creature as well, but it seems to have some kind of resistance, but you do get another clean slice into it with that sickle. It's going to be Gran's turn. He's going to go ahead and try to punt this creature. Since he only has his longbow, he's going to step up to it. He's going to try and kick it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he hits, and he's going to deal 2 points of damage. Makes a little oily sound. Following that, it is going to be the creature's turn, and it is going to run this way away from you guys. So both Harvey and Reyna, you get an attack of opportunity as it leaves your reach.
Okay. I doubt I hit with either of them, but for some reason I rolled twice.
Oh, I see.
But I'm going to use the sickle.
Yeah, so that 2 plus 4 for a 6, you are going to miss your slash. Harvey, you can take an attack of opportunity if you would like.
And my short sword, correct?
Yeah, you can pull that out.
Yes, I attacked my short sword.
So you slash as this creature as it tries to leave your engagement, but it's a small, quick little sucker. You're not quite able to connect, and it continues moving away, but that's going to give Gran an unarmed attack of opportunity on it.
Just trip it, Gran.
He kicks at it as it tries to move away, but it just kind of kicks at nothing as it runs away, and you guys can see it melt into the wall in that hallway there. Oh, we were so close on that one, says Gran.
Are you okay?
Yeah, he rubs his leg. I get it. These little things are kind of frustrating. And I appreciate the warning. If you hadn't, I might not have been able to jump out of the way as much as I did.
Absolutely.
But the little thing didn't seem too upset by it.
No, not at all. Not at all what I was anticipating. And she, puts her head in her hands and thinks.
Should we continue on?
I believe we should, but Reyna, you can see further than us. Does it look worth going?
She turns around to kind of look deeper in. It's gonna go deeper still for a bit.
Then by all means, let's keep going.
Let us continue on.
All right, you take the lead. I'll be right behind you.
At least they don't seem to be taking our most valuable resource.
Which?
My decanter.
Our lives.
Got another oil slick for you, Mr. Harvey.
Okay, so once again, I'll pull out my decanter. This time, we'll go for the medium one, fountain, and I'll produce 5 gallons of water while pointing it towards the oil.
Most valuable resource was the friends we made along the way.
Certainly.
Which so far has only been Gran and Harvey.
Yeah, that last lady wasn't too friendly.
Nope. First off, she ignored us. Then she's trying to kill us.
At least she didn't make us run all over the place like Marathon.
Marathon wasn't that great of a friend either.
So as you hold up your decanter of endless water and you prepare to activate its fountain quality, you hear from deeper into this little corridor, "Oh, you better not be thinking about using that decanter here and flooding this hallway."
What?
Who's there? I shout.
"Who's there? Who's here? Who are you?"
I'm the guy who's about to shoot 30 gallons of water down this hall if you don't tell me who you are.
"I'm telling you, you best not, or you're gonna regret it."
I regret being in this cave. Try me.
Listen, let's move ourselves back and introduce ourselves and go from there. And Reyna, kind of tugs on Harvey's wing a little bit and jetsons a little bit back.
Take the advice and pull back a little.
So you step away from the sticky hallway, the oily hallway, and you're going to see, not coming down the hallway, but instead, you see a little creature burrow straight through the wall.
Oh my goddamn.
He steps out right in front of you.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, he steps out through the wall, leaving a tiny tunnel behind him. He has this crazy hair growing out of his head, out a giant beard, but he's just a tiny little creature, easily small, the same size as the other little things you've seen, but not quite of the same demeanor. "What do you think you're doing here in these tunnels?"
I want to reach out to it in Undercommon and just say, "We're looking to get away from the witch in the grotto."
You speak at him in Undercommon. "Oh, you gotta learn the tongue, do you? You speak it well. I can tell you're a deep gnome. My kind of people."
Exactly.
"You're trying to escape the hag, you say?"
The haggis, yes.
"Well, that's gonna be a tad difficult. This whole grotto here. I mean, I don't spend a lot of time here. I just came up to the surface to grab a few things. But,
Yeah.
I suppose you can't escape that way yourselves, can you? Not this one." And he points up at the bird, and he's still speaking in Undercommon, so you don't know what he said when he pointed at you.
I'll glare at him when he starts to point at me.
Oh, you gotta do the Mickey Mouse point, says Reyna, and she shows with the 3 fingers.
Right. You're trying to escape the grotto. Well, that's going to be a tad difficult. See, from what I know of Miss Matty, she's been bringing people into this grotto and eating them up for years. Decades, maybe even more than a century. Depending on how the time measurement works, the Feywilds are a bit finicky, eh?
She looks down at her watch and just kind of nods along. "Oh, I've noticed that."
No, yeah. Time has been pretty consistent since you've entered the grotto, since she gave you until sundown. So at this point, it's probably been maybe just about an hour since you've started exploring.
How long would you say from sun up till sundown is?
Around here, actually, it should be about the same as the material plane right about now. Dependent on the the placement of the stars and whatnot. Feywilds. Ha! Crazy place.
So would you say about 12 hours, 8 hours?
Yeah, just about 12 hours.
Okay. Well,
Why do you ask?
she's given us until sundown to get out of here, or else we'll be eaten as well. Just as you've made it clear that that's been happening.
Is that what she told you? Oh, crazy hag, that one. Let me tell you about Moldy Matty Swamp Teeth. She's just giving you the old yank. She's telling you she's gonna give you time so you can run around and you can tire yourselves out, so you're not gonna be much trouble when she actually comes knocking.
Can I check and see if he's lying?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay. With my bonuses, that's going to be a total of 19.
So he seems to be an earnest little creature.
I can... And she starts to slip into the... what I'm assuming in this world is Undercommon Zatson of, like, slightly Scottish. And she's like, oh, you seem to be telling the truth. And then she like catches herself and she's like, well, what is your name?
Ah, damn it.
I'm so sorry, Luke.
No, it's, that's not something you gotta concern yourself with right now. Names have power, and I'm sure she doesn't like me sharing hers.
Absolutely. I want to make a bargain with you.
What's that?
We are in desperate need of assistance, and I'd like to offer you...
No, Mom. I'm far too busy. I've got a lot to tend to. And he kind of trots over a little bit.
No, I want to give him all the gold I have for him to help kick her ass.
You're trying to offer me gold?
All 15 of it.
15 gold! Well, aren't you a big spender?
It's all I have. I definitely wasn't monetarily prepared to come to the Feywilds.
Maybe if it had a nice gemstone or other jewelry, we might talk. Something really magic. I'm just passing through here. This is about the highest up from underground I go.
What advice can you give to survive her?
I've just heard about what she's been doing. I've never dealt with her myself. She's a wicked one, I can tell you that.
Well, I appreciate you, kind. No.
I appreciate you stopping your friend from flooding that corridor. It's just a dead end, by the way. I was taking a short rest. You just happened to stumble upon me.
Right. Made sense.
Suppose it's a good thing you woke up then.
Well, I sensed you coming from, well, quite a ways away. I
guess we should make our way out.
Felt you using that decanter a couple times. Would have gotten me hair all wet.
We don't need that.
Certainly not.
Everyone's due sometimes.
You might be able to find a way out of this grotto, but like I said, I'm sure she's just hoping you'll tire yourself out. I don't think she actually intends to let you out. That wouldn't be a great, dietary exercise.
No, you're kind of right there. So then, Reyna, if that's true, should we go back to Plan A and burn the house down?
I've got the flamethrower ready.
Although...
I'm about...
And he taps his hoof a little bit on the ground. There might be a little bit of ancient magic left over that she doesn't quite have mastery over. If you exit out the far end of the caves, you might just stumble upon what I'm talking about. An old, circle set up, not by Fae, but by ancient mortals, elves and the like, that came through here centuries ago. I'm sure she hasn't taken it down. I'm sure she wouldn't have the power to. You might find a way out there.
Well, thank you for all the information.
Right? Try not to be supper. And he's going to jump up into the air, and when he smacks back into the ground, he's going to start burrowing down deep, until after just a few moments, he's gone, leaving nothing but a little hole in his wake.
Reyna, should I give him a drink?
No.
Okay, well, keep going.
Well, Gran, and I relay what we talked about in Undercommon that they didn't hear, so that way everyone's on the same page. How's everyone feeling?
Like I'm about to clean out this hallway.
Please don't. He said not to.
Well,
it's up to you.
Well, we have to keep continuing forward.
Listen, if we want to prove that he was telling the truth, and that this is the easiest way to tell that he's telling the truth about the magic circle is to see if this is a dead end. If it is, we know to head a little bit deeper into the cave and try and find a way out there, and if that doesn't work, we can just kill her. And if this goes further on, well, we know he's a liar.
That seems like a quick, easy check.
I will make my way that way.
And you see...
It is the dead end.
Yeah, you see a couple little tunnels along the bottom of the wall out of the ground there that look very similar to the one that went through this wall and that he went down through.
Yep. It's a dead end. He wasn't lying.
So then where do you say to go then?
He wanted us to go deeper into the caves, actually. He said something about a magic circle that could lead us out. might be worth investigating.
Magic circles are always a bad sign, but let's go check it out, I guess.
I say, considering the amount of time that we have, perhaps if we cannot get this magic circle to work, what we should do is... And then she'll tell him about how she's been seeing the visage of the witch.
Yeah, roll that.
Oh, yeah. So I can't help but notice seeing the witch in every place that I absolutely do not want her to be seen. She haunts the trees. She haunts the very waters of this place. But it appears that, probably to his credit, what he's saying is true. She has no magic here. I haven't seen her image pass through this place yet. Perhaps this would be a safe place to make camp, and rest, and prepare for the final fight.
With the little creatures?
And less than 12 hours before she decides to come?
True. Just a thought. Oh, Harvey, some more oil.
On my way.
She, squeezes up to Gran, but not, in a sexual way. Just to, let him through. That's the nice thing about a chair with no wheels. It doesn't hurt your feet.
Point my decanter towards the oil, and once again say the word fountain for 5 gallons to come from it.
Yeah, nice. You're easily able to clean away the oil on these squares.
It's my headcanon that you make a pissing noise every time you do it. There appears to be a fork in the road, north and west. I will quickly investigate the western side.
Don't go too far.
She's gonna try and peek around this corner.
Sure.
Another dead end, it appears.
North it is, then.
I'm so sorry that I have all the vision, guys.
I have a torch.
Aha! Aha!
What do you see?
She Mickey Mouse points to the right-hand side, and this time she's gonna run her way in towards it.
Nice.
She's gonna dash. Or not dash, but she's gonna... Yep.
For sure. It is going off the same initiative. Let's go ahead and roll... Sorry. Let's roll a new initiative when you see it.
Okay.
So at the top of this initiative actually is going to be Harvey. I think you should be able to make it out, though.
Yeah, I can see him in the corner.
Get it!
You guys come through the corridor, and he looks over, his mouth agape in surprise. You are able to act before him.
With my bow this time, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I want to aim and shoot at him with my bow. No mercy this time.
Do you want to shoot from where you are, or do you want to move up a bit?
Thank you, I'm going to move a little bit.
Nice.
Let's try there, and now I'll shoot him.
Go ahead and roll to hit. Yeah, you loose your arrow, it flies through the air, and it pierces right through this little thing's skull. It falls back dead.
Oh, Jesus.
No chances. Can I go check him to see if he has any of our stuff?
Certainly.
Come on, Gran. Harvey made a slick kebab.
You notice that it had actually a few cuts into it. It seems to have been the one that you guys damaged before. The one that wasn't quite able to steal anything before you damaged it.
Sorry, Reyna. I thought we were going to find my crowbar and be safe.
Damn it. Took all my good gear. Well, does it have any gold or anything?
No, it doesn't have any other possessions on it.
Okay. Well, good shot. And she pats Harvey on the... How tall is Harvey?
1 second, let me double check that again.
5'3".
Yeah, 5'3".
That is much shorter than I expected.
And Reyna is a gnome, so she's only about 3.5 feet.
Yeah.
So she pats him on the lower back, but she doesn't do a pat. She just kind of keeps her arms straight as she does it, and it's almost like she's paddling you, but on the back. But it's not hard. It's just awkward.
What are you doing over there? Asks Gran.
I'm congratulating Harvey for such a good shot.
Very good. One less creature we have to deal with.
Amen. Let me scoot around you.
Oh.
And continue moving on.
Oh, you forgot your hummingbird.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you moved it. Okay. Whew.
It's a good thing we didn't need to light up that target.
Right. Perhaps I am thinking of reconstructing the homunculus to be a little bit more useful. This place seems to go on forever. This is not the direction I was hoping that we would be led in this cavern.
Which way did you go? What do you see?
I see trees and green.
Greenery
way
in a
out.
cave. Sounds like magic to me, or an exit.
And she quickly checks the other direction. Yeah. A way out.
Ah, finally, fresh air.
Yes, it was getting kind of stale in there.
As you move into this part of the woods, you're going to hear some gentle panpipe music in the distance.
She's going to send her homunculus over here.
Certainly.
Do you see that, gentlemen?
The what?
Come. Ancient
Grendel's
magics.
Step forward. Oh, my, would you look at that? Standing stones.
It's interesting to see standing stones out here. They had to have been intentionally placed.
She's going to do a little bit of investigating, and she's going to... I think she wants to try and see if this is the ancient magic that the golem, or whatever... What kind of a creature was he?
You didn't ascertain.
Okay. The goat man. I want to see if this is what the goat man was referring to.
Yeah, you can make an investigation check.
Can I do Arcana?
Yeah, you can do Arcana.
Okay.
Yeah, with that 18 Arcana. So something you do see on each of these standing stones, not the top long ways parts, but just the little side pieces, because you can walk through these. There's enough space between them to walk through each side, especially this large, far one. But on the standing pillars, instead of the ones laid across the top of them, they are going to have all kinds of glowing, arcane writing on them. In kind of different, mostly different shades of blue. And you guys aren't going to be able to, I believe, with your languages you're proficient with. Maybe, Harvey, you might be able to roughly make out some of the symbols as kind of an ancient elven dialect. But you can't tell precisely what the language is, but there are glowing symbols on the standing part of these stones. The pillar parts, the column parts, the upright parts, there you go, instead of the laid over ones.
Am I able to decipher any noticeable words to me from the Elvish?
They mostly seem to be, from what you can see, they're single letters. They're not like words. They're just single letters kind of at random points in each of the stones. And while you guys are investigating this, something familiar is going to shoot right through the middle of the standing stones and disappear into the darkness on the other side. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. Reyna's gonna do a dumb thing, and she's gonna go into the standing stones, but make her way in the opposite direction that the Quickling did.
Sure.
So from this one to the... Yep.
Kind of opposite the direction the Quickling went through, but nothing happens.
Well, they aren't portals, that's for sure.
Yeah, you saw Reyna with your dark vision. You should have been able to see him. He came from far deeper into the forest, and he just ran through the middle of your little group.
Right.
Well, we've gotten this far by following that thing. Should we keep the pursuit?
Oh, it's long gone at this point.
So I do know Elvish. Can I attempt to, read the letters, or is it too ancient of a language?
Oh yeah, you do know some Elvish. So it isn't actually in Elvish, it's a branch off of Elvish dialect. You guys, they're not complete words. It's just letters strewn amongst the upright stones.
Mm.
How's your knowledge in history, Reyna? You too, Gran.
Me? I'm just a hunter. I leave all that book stuff for the wizards.
Reyna's gonna pull out her book and begin taking notes. Yeah, I'm pretty proficient. Let me see if I can find anything in my notes. And she'd like to see if this is anything that she's seen or heard of or read of before.
With your which one was your Arcana check? That 18?
Yeah.
The 11 plus 7? So you do know, kind of based, that this could feasibly be some kind of conjuration technology, either bringing something here or sending something away, kind of based on the way that it's laid out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This feels like an ancient way of conjuration or perhaps teleportation. One of the two, maybe not, maybe both, maybe not. But it'll either allow us to leave or it'll bring something here. I could make an attempt to perform it, but I don't. Without being able to read it or know how these gates work, it'd be like shooting in the dark.
It might be too dangerous. What if we summon something even worse than the hag?
Well, then the hag will have to deal with it.
Well, we'd be right here.
That's true.
It would go through us first.
Perhaps. If you don't think it's safe, I won't attempt it. But if you want to, if this may be our only chance of getting out before getting eaten, I say we take it. But
would it take long to perform the ritual?
She'd like to check her watch again.
Yeah, the watch. It's been pretty consistent since you made it through the passage into the grotto. So even before you entered the caves, pretty much since you realized that the hag was
a hag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems pretty. You don't have the precise knowledge on how to activate this at that point.
Okay. I don't know, and that's embarrassing to say at the least. And she kind of blushes and grits her hand at having to say that. But you know who might?
The witch.
The witch.
How do we get out here? Just wait until it's time for feeding?
Well, we know where she's at.
You hear the pan music getting a little louder as a creature emerges from the darkness. He's playing his panpipes.
Hail and well met.
Do 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 do.
My headcanon is that he's playing Careless Whisper.
Sure. Well, what are you all doing here?
Discussing our great plans of escape. What about you? Who are you?
Me? I'm just a traveler in these woods.
So does that mean that you know how to get out?
Well, I'm certainly not beholden to the hag's magic like you are.
So you know of the hag too?
Oh, yeah. Lots of people know about her. She's pretty vicious, I would say.
But she doesn't come after you or anybody else who lives here?
Well, she has her enforcers. I try to stay away if I can.
Makes sense.
He's gonna dance around and he's gonna continue playing his panpipes. Do 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 do. He's standing under the.
Do you know anything of these stones, traveler?
Oh yeah, definitely. Do 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 do.
Of how to use them?
Oh, most certainly. Do do do.
What would happen if we used them?
Well, I dare say you might just be able to make it out of this place.
Well, that's great news.
What will it cost you for your knowledge? Cost us for your knowledge.
Doo-doo. He stops mid-playing. Well, what have you got?
I have some money, but I doubt that means much here.
Gold. Mortals love their gold.
Can I just like read him up and down, see what kind of a person he is, see what if he has any affinities towards anything?
You can try to make a insight check.
Perfect. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, this is a mysterious creature to you.
What would you like? What can I do to make it worth your while?
Got anything strong to drink?
I might.
Gran?
Me? No, I only have my water skin on me.
By strong, you mean alcohol, correct? Not
Certainly.
useful. Alright. Tell me how far you're willing to let this go. Could I possibly use my alchemist supplies to create booze?
Nah, you'd need a brewer's kit instead. Those are two separate tools and proficiencies.
Damn.
Can I do a nature check to see if there's any, like, herbs that I know might give, like, a buzz feeling if you were to mix them with something?
I suppose you can make a nature check with your double proficiency, yeah.
Are we about ready to make this little fawn smoke some weed?
It's a cedar.
Satyr.
So you wouldn't know, from looking around in these woods, you haven't spotted anything that you would know to have an effect.
Okay, guys, I tried to see if there was anything he might like around we could pick, but doesn't seem to be anything.
Yeah.
Do you know any good songs?
Know any good songs? Gran?
I'd ask about dances, but it doesn't look like you dance much.
Oh, that was a little rude.
No, yeah, he's just being observant. Perhaps I know of some magics that I could teach you or give to you. And she calls down her little hummingbird and sits it in her hand.
Magic. I am magic. Don't need to learn any more of that.
It's fair.
Do-do-do. 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 Do-do-do.
I can't think of anything, Brandon, that we could offer him.
I don't have anything that would be stand outish besides our normal regular stuff, since you don't want money. Because money I got lots of.
He's just dancing through the arches.
Can I follow him and try to mimic his dances?
You want to try to dance the same way he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make a performance check.
Oh, this is not going to be good.
Oh, damn, you're right.
You try to mimic his patterns, but you're just not quite able to get it right. You're watching him, the way he's dancing around on his hooves. He shakes his head around. He moves his arm in patterns. It's kind of a delicate dance that you're not quite able to mimic. Oh, come on, that's just insulting.
Would Reyna have, like, knowledge of any sort of, like, songs or just things of the like that she could offer him? Or is that not likely?
You're mostly, like, book read. You know more about spells.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you wanted to make, like, a history check, but you also have to be able to perform it.
Oh, man. I feel like she's a hoarder of knowledge, but, like, I don't think that that's the kind of knowledge that she would covet.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a shot just in case. Yeah. 6.
Yeah, you can't recall any grand number that you might be able to recite for him.
Can I...
Sometimes mortals are very exciting, but you seem to be a couple boring ones.
Yeah. We're not particularly your type of people. I'd appreciate knowing this knowledge.
Well, the runes on these pillars are in Sylvan. Huh! He huffs and he stomps his little hooves, and then he prances away into the forest.
Sylvan. Thank you!
Well, that was interesting.
Why did you thank him? Well, I guess he shared something.
He gave us something for the nothing that we gave him.
But did that something help us any?
Do you know Sylvan?
I do not.
I don't know
Graham?
Sylvan either.
Then it was worth nothing. I guess it's back to plan A again.
That might be our best option.
Onward.
Alright, here we go.